What is up, YouTube? Welcome to the hotel. I am out and about. I am over my COVID, out of my quarantine, got a home test negative. We are ready to go. Thankfully, feeling much better. And I realized I have not made a video for John, Wade Boggs Fan, and I have to do that just out of pure respect. And did a quick rummage of my special box. I make mention of it from time to time, but I've got it kind of like this big one-row box that I kind of put all my favorite cards in, and I need to rummage through that. I have other cards that are out, I haven't put away, but anyway, so I did a quick rummage before I left. It's kind of fast, but John was looking for, well, he said 5 cards or so that you would never sell, and that's all my cards. So I guess I got to think about maybe selling some cards. I don't know. I've sold a few cards here and there, which is a goal of mine this year, was to sell some things, and so I sold some unopened wax, and I sold a couple of my extra Project 2020 cards to Mike over at Baseball Collector. So I have sold probably like 5 cards in my life. Anyway. So I'm keeping them all, but anyway, I think it's more of kind of what are your favorite cards, or tell a little story or something. So I pulled out some, and I'm realizing now that we might have a long video, but some of you might not have heard some of the stories. So we'll go, and these are certainly not all of them either. Story. Okay, the only one that doesn't really have a story is it's kind of a big fish for me. It was I'd say it's probably my first like big purchase. I'm kind of a 10-cent guy. I buy a lot of cards that are 50 cents or a dollar or less, I guess, and I have a lot of them, and it's just volume, and I can't get away from that. And so I had kind of told myself, okay, I'm not gonna get nickel and dime here for a month or so, and I'm gonna put away and save for a big card, and this is it. So it's kind of like my first big card, my Yaz rookie, and a PSA 6, and man, am I thankful I bought it when I did, because it's now worth double what I paid for it. That's just absolutely amazing to me. But anyway, let's see. We got some stories here. These two go together. And this was actually like my first trade. Like, I don't even trade. I do giveaways and things. I for some reason I'm okay with giving away cards, but I don't even like trading them. So this was outside of my childhood, just jockeying and trading cards. This was like my first trade, and it was with Lou Rock of Lou Rock TV. So if you don't know Lou Rock, then you got to check him out. I'm sure most people know him, but I had some Yankees cards, and I got rid of them, and I really, there's even more to the story. But anyway, for some reason I didn't even want to get rid of them. But anyway, I was like, okay, he likes Yankees, I like Red Sox. He had this card, and he said, let's trade. And so I did. And this one's in my, I'll never get rid of this one. It's my Lou Rock Carlton Fisk auto with the memorabilia on there. And luckily when I sent him the trade, I put a couple extra in there because he put a couple extra in there, and holy moly, his dad would go down to the spring training games. And hopefully I'm getting the story right, but this is how I recall it. And he would get autographs of the Red Sox, give it to Lou Rock, and just as a joke because he's a Yankees fan, right? And so he had been kind of giving these away, trying to get them out of his collection. And from what I can tell, I think he said this was his last Red Sox in-person autograph from his dad. And it's found a home in my box, man. What an awesome story. Lou Rock's dad, and his last one that he gave away. So that was cool. This one is totally rare. I've never even seen this before. I think you can probably get it on eBay if you really look for it. But this was a contest winning from Dead Centered. I don't know if it was my first win, but it was one of my first ones. And this is of Acuna when he was kind of in the This is 2018, but it was a 2017 Melbourne, in an Australia league. And I just thought that was so special. And that was part of the little package that Dead Centered had given. So check out Dead Centered. Um, oh man, where do I go next? Here's one from Scott. So my buddy Scott's giving me some crazy cards. Well, not crazy cards, but man, um, this was one that's got some character. So it's got like little poke holes in there, but they almost look at that one there. Almost looks like four leaves, right? Kinda. Anyway, but that's a Johnny Pesky from Scott over at Reindeer Studios. So that's in my keeper box. Here's one. Nate over at Tops 85401 had a like a Easter egg or like a hidden thing in there, and I constantly pound my head against the wall trying to figure out Blue Jacket 66 little Easter eggs, and somehow I got on Nate's and I got it and I figured it out, and he sent me a box. It was like a whole, I don't know, like a 300, 400 count box of just cards. And within that box was a little stack of Bonds cards. So I keep this. I put all the bonds out of that box. Every single bonds went into this, and it says from Tops 85401. So to have a bond, like to have a card given to you by a super collector of that player, to me is just there's no other Bonds cards like this is the ultimate Bonds kind of package. So that's in my keeper box from Nate over at Tops 85401. It's interesting because most of these have stories of other people, and I always say collect to connect, and that's what I'm talking about. Like the cards. I mean, there's just cards. Like there's probably no card in here worth more than $1. I can almost guarantee it. But just the story of it and the significance of who it came from, it's invaluable. I will never sell these Bonds cards. These are my Bonds cards from what I can tell, the number one Barry Bonds super collector. Let's do some ones that don't really have crazy stories. For me, collecting as a kid, well, let's start here with this one. This card here was like probably when I started collecting, it was this one in the Jose Canseco. And this is actually a pack pulled as a kid, Mark McGwire. This is from my childhood collection. It's like my number one card in 87, 88. And man, that's just bringing back memories. But so that was one that was, I mean, you get that for $1 or less. But anyway, probably 25 cents. But anyway, that was a card that was very important to me as a child, and that's the actual card. But anyway, so, and I had my other cards. I must have left them in the truck, but I always carry around a couple of cards, and one of them was my fake Alan Trammell card, and one of them was a Ken Griffey Jr. 89 Don Russ rookie that I picked up. But the Alan Trammell, somewhat related. I was at a like a fair, like back in the 80s. It seemed like you could go to like a carnival and there'd be like 4 people selling baseball cards. I mean, that's how hot it was. It's kind of getting that way now. But anyway, card shows everywhere, and the number one card that I wanted as a kid was a Rickey Henderson rookie. And I remember going to a fair, and there was one in the case, and the guy, I was like $100. Like I was whatever, 10 years old. Like I don't have $100. And he said, "Well, what do you got?" And I said $10, and he sold me a fake Alan Trammell autograph. He didn't say it was fake at the time. I took it home thinking I had an awesome Alan Trammell autograph, and didn't. But when I got back into collecting, I walked into the card shop, and there was a Rickey Henderson sitting there, and the guy said, "Well, you want that Rickey Henderson?" I said, "Well, yeah, I couldn't afford it as a kid, but now I got money. How much you want for it?" And $20 was the answer. And I think it's pretty clean, maybe a little ding there in the corner, but fairly, I mean, it's off center, but fairly centered. And pretty good Ricky Henderson rookie card for 20 smackers. Face looks pretty good. You know, the surface looks pretty good. I don't know. It might get a 6, maybe a 7. I don't know. So probably less than what you think. Maybe a 7. So, man, bucket list card, and I got it for 20 bucks. Anyway, the other one I never had growing up. I had a neighbor that had one, and boy, we had to like keep it hidden, and every once in a while we'd pull it out and take a look at it and laugh and giggle. Is this Billy Ripken and the real McCoy, and the story behind these two is actually this one's tied to John over at Wade Boggs Fan. So I was in his LCS, and they had a couple boxes of '89 Fleer, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna buy a box of that. And boy, back then, and I say back then, it was just probably 4 years ago now, but it was $30 a box or something. Normally I would buy a box, and then I would travel around in a hotel, and I'd open a pack every night. Just that was my thing, my release, and you know, just go through the cards and look at them and read the stats and reminisce. So I bought this box at John's LCS, and I got in the hotel that night, and I brought in a pack, left the others in the truck, and opened it up, and I was obviously chasing this card, and opened it up, and nothing in the pack. And I said, shoot. And so I went back out to the truck and said, I'm gonna open another pack. So I went back to the room, I opened the second pack, nothing. So I said, I'm gonna go back out to the truck. I brought the box back in, and I basically proceeded to open the whole box in like 10 minutes. And not a one of these in there. And I didn't care. I was trying to just pull the card, black box or nothing, whatever, you know, whatever. I don't care the variation. I mean, obviously I'd love to get the original. Nothing. And so I don't know, maybe a month passes by. I don't get down to that area, you know, that often, but maybe a month or 2 or 3. And I went in there and I said, I opened that last box. I didn't get it. I didn't get the Ripken. I said, you know what? Give me another box. And so I grabbed another box and some other things too. But I went out to the truck, and that's the other thing. I always like to open a pack. I could just get in the truck and open a pack right out of the gate, and then one every night at the hotel. But anyway, so I get in the truck, I open a pack, and I poop you guys not. One of these two, I don't know which one it was, but one of these two in the first pack I opened. I ran back in the store, and I was like, I just pulled this out of the pack. It was right in the pack. And we sleeved it up. I don't know. Wonder if I could tell by the sleeves. I don't know. Probably not. But anyway, so we sleeved it up. We put it in a top loader. And might have been this one. They just had some older top loaders hanging around. I don't know. I should have marked them down. But anyway, so I was like, done. And after that, I satiated my need, and I just let it go. I just so I had the box, and I don't even think I had some other stuff, so I was opening it. And as I went through that box, when I got to it, there was a second one in there. So there was 2 in that box. So those are 2 pack pulled Billy Ripken '89 Fleer cards that I will never sell. And back home we've got some variations. I don't know what I got. I probably should take stock of it, but there's probably 20 of them. But actually these are my 2 only F faces. Pack pulled. We're coming to the end. Okay, this is kind of a funny one. I'll never sell it because I probably won't be able to get any money for it. But Jeff over at Bowman 1951 Adventures, he was telling a story about how when he first got into collecting, he was buying graded cards, and then he realized like you can't buy the common, like you're not going to make money flipping common cards that are graded really. It's mostly the set collectors that are trying to get 8s and 9s or whatever, and the ones they're selling nobody else wants. And so he thought, wow, that's a really good deal, I could buy it and flip it, and then nobody else wants. He was trying to tell him the story, and he's like, oh, and I got all these cards, and he had a ComC account that he put it up on, and he's like, yeah, I got my 75 Glenn Borgman PSA 5 on my ComC account. It's been there. Nobody wants to buy it or whatever. And so as I was watching the video, I logged right into ComC and I bought it. And I just thought that was funny as heck. I don't know why. Just as he was telling the story, I'm buying the card, and then I think he saw that I bought it and he messaged me. He's like, "Did you just buy that?" I was like, "Yeah, I watched your video and you were complaining that nobody would buy it. You know, you were feeling bad and telling everybody how poor of an idea it was to get it." And so I thought it was funny. I'd just buy it. So it was a little funny story there. Now this one is about waiting, and I still can't believe I have this card right now. It's just funny to look at. But anyway, so this was something I don't even know the full story. Maybe Stove knows, but Stove was having, I don't know if he made a video and he's live or something, and he's like, it's kind of a messed up thing. He's like, I don't know, I was just grading everything, and I sent this in, and I got it graded. And I don't, like, why do I want this? I'm not a Red Sox fan. It's funny, but whatever. Like, who would want this? And I was like, dude, I'll take that. That is like, I love that. It's like cool. It's funny, cool, and like, you know, Stove and I would do like we're part of this funny card crew here or whatever we call it, and it just connected us. I was like, oh my god, that's a funny card. It's a Red Sox. It's a Mookie Betts. It's, you know, and this is back when Mookie was still playing for us. Like, I will like that's like one of the awesomest cards I've ever seen. And he's like, okay, dude, you can have it. And then never sent it. Like, I don't even know. It was like 9 months or something. And I made some funny videos about it. And I had a good time with it. It's all in good fun. I mean, it's, you know, it's a free card, right? So I sent him a little care package just to remind him that I was alive, and hooked him up with a bunch of White Sox guys, and he's like, oh man, I gotta send your card. Never sent it again. And so I literally think it was like 9 months before I got the card. And the funniest part about this, I think if you go back, and I think I have a video on it, but I had opened up a bunch of mail and I put it back in the envelope. I don't know, for the video or something, and like I had put it in the recycling bin, the envelope, but the card was in it. So like I waited 9 months, and then I literally was like a day away. Like I did it on the weekend, and recycling came on Tuesday or whatever, and I was like, where's that Mookie card? And I was like, oh my god, did I throw it? And it was like literally in the recycling to go into the recycling truck the next day. That would have been horrific luck. But I saved it. Still have it, and we will never sell that one. From Stove. And this is going to be a 20-minute video, and I apologize, but I get so many stories, and there's a bunch more, but like these are the best kind of cards. This was one that I was super proud of. So I keep the whole thing. I keep the whole envelope. And this is a story with Jeremy IPTTM. If you don't know him, check him out. Awesome dude. Super supportive of our cards for kids with cancer. And I've been watching him because I have a 81 Fleer set that I'm trying to build pack pulled, which is the dumbest thing I've ever. That's like the dumbest decision ever. Like, don't do that. And now these damn 81 Fleers are selling for like $300 a box. It's stupid money. Like, it's dumb, and I need like 6 more cards. I really need to sit down and get a checklist of what I need, and maybe I can make some sort of a amendment to my goal. Maybe I could trade for the last 6 or something, but I don't know. Anyway, so Jeremy's building the 81 Fleer set autographed, which is like, forget about next level. That's like level 10. And so we're connected by this set, and he's obviously done a lot better job with me, but he got down to like 3 guys, I think, at the time, and then he picked up another guy in between or whatever, and one of the guys was John Littlefield, and he hadn't signed anything in years, and I hunted this guy down. I think I used a different address than what was on the thing, but I sent him a note. It just said, listen, I got a buddy of mine that's doing a complete autograph set. He literally needs you and one other guy. And I don't know if you charge, but I'm gonna give you some money. I'm like, I still have the money in here. Like I kept the whole thing. So I sent him a couple bucks, and I sent him 2 cards. So I obviously had doubles of it because I'm building the set. So I sent him 2 cards and a little note that said, my buddy's doing this. Would you sign it? And he sent it back. And I said, hey, I don't know if you charge, but here's $5. Grab a cup of coffee. And it says, buy your friend that coffee. LOL. Thanks, though. John Littlefield. I never charge for fans. I mean, like this is the story. I was like, my friend is making a set. I don't know if you charge. Get some money for coffee. And he signed a blank index card. And I don't even know what the address is, to be honest with you. Las Vegas. Came from Las Vegas. I don't know what that's all about, but there's Mike. So I sent one for Jeremy and one for me, and I didn't show mine. I didn't show anything off until I knew Jeremy got his. But there it is. That one's not going anywhere. What a great story. And then Jeremy found the last one fairly quickly after that, and his set is complete. And it's just what a really cool story to help him complete that, and just to get the note back from the guy, like, hey, buy your buddy the cup of coffee. Hey, Jeremy, I probably owe you a cup of coffee. I should have got you at National. But anyway, next one, we'll look forward to that. So there's a bunch of cards that just have some stories to them and some historical significance, and 99% of them are from somebody else and have a story that goes with them, and most of them probably don't have much monetary. I mean, this is one I bought, but this is probably a $50 card. I'll never sell that. It's from Lou Rock, so there's a bunch of cards, a couple of stories. There's more stories in that box. I should rummage through it again. I should do it from time to time. But there we go. There's one from Scott. So appreciate your time. I hope you enjoyed some of the stories and some of the cards that came out of my special 1-row box. And as always, if you guys are opening anything, best of luck to you. Don't forget to collect to connect. Oh, it's the best part of the hobby. And as always, have an awesome day.